Good morning, class. Today we will be looking at another reading class, a grammar, which we will be discussing about the comparative and superlative words. Most of the words which we will be using were taken out from the Big Nose reading book. Anyway, by the end of this class, everyone will be able to recognize the rule that forms the comparative and superlative words and differentiate the regular from irregular words. This is the after reading lesson, so there will be some written activities. So would you like to write? Just prepare your exercise books, pencils, and other resources to help you complete the grammar activity today. Is that okay? Alright, so I ask everyone to come down to the reading column, please. Thank you, everyone. Quiet. Hands up. Your right hands under your left arms, and your left arms under your right arms. And look at me. I'm going to introduce, explain, demonstrate the grammar activity for today. This is superlative class. Now let's first of all revise something from our last activity. On our last lesson, activity 4, we talked about after reading activity, which was based on the same topic, the big nose, but on that activity we talked about the writing. You as the chief of the village are asked to write a notice for the people, for the village, telling them to plant bigger vegetables. Anyway, our new topic is taken out from the activity 5, which is about grammar usage. Let me pose with a question, class. What are comparative and the superlative words? Now, comparative adjectives are words that ends with ER. Like, for an example, high become, when ended with ER, it is become higher. It is one way to describe nouns. People, place, animals, etc. Now, for an example, Peter is taller than Jeffrey. The cat runs faster than pig. Hence, comparative adjectives compare two things. Is that clear, class? Now, next word, the superlative adjective. When we compare two things, it is comparative adjective words. But when we compare more than two things, we are going to use the superlative words like smallest, tallest, biggest, etc. For example, Peter is the eldest of his 4 brothers. Patrick Williams is the smallest of the family. Such words define whether it is a highest or lowest degree. Now let's look at this table. Let's identify which words are comparative and which are superlative words. Comparative adjective words and superlative adjective words. Remember the comparative rule. The word high, the comparative word for high becomes higher. The superlative word for higher is highest. These words are called regular words. Now let's look at the next group of words, the irregular words. The words like good and bad. The rule is different. We do not say gooder and goodest. We do not say badder and baddest, but better and best. Is that okay, class? Any question or any comments you would like to make before we go on to our activity? Silent means everything is alright. Whenever you met any confusion as you do your activities, just raise your hands and I'll come around to help you. Now study the example given and complete the table on the board. If you're satisfied with your work, bring your books to my table for marking. Suppose you have some X beside your activity or your questions, do your correction and let me retake your work. Is that okay? Any more questions? Okay, take your books out, write your margins, write the date, write the instructions before you do your work. The last person to be marked, just shout bingo, and this is the end of the lesson. Thank you so much, class.